Hello, I'd like to talk to you today about a sample essay for the Entertainment Media and Children essay. This one did a good job. It still had some issues, and we'll talk about some of those, but she has clear organization and a clear message throughout. Here's her thesis. She says, from the Disney Renaissance and onward, there's a clear message that a girl can become strong if she takes action in situations that need her help. Now, I added there's a clear message that just to make it better fit the assignment. Also, it's just a much better thesis. This is about a fictional account, not just any girl, and so she needed to make that clear. But I understood what she meant there, and I knew her intent, and so I filled that in for her. It did take her grade down a little that she didn't say that, but the message was clear throughout, so I gave her some credit for that. So there's her thesis. Okay, a girl can become strong in these films if she takes action in situations that need her help. All right, and again, here's her topic sentence. She doesn't say in these films, I added that for her, but this is her point. A girl can be considered strong just by doing the right thing and learning from her mistakes. Okay, so clear point of view. Then she uses the film Frozen to support it. And she talks about Anna in it. She uses the example of this character, and she gives a little bit of plot summary, just enough to explain the point to someone who had never seen the film before. And then she explains it and integrates a direct quote as well, which makes it even stronger. So she's talking about the situation, and here she says, throughout this, Anna never once blamed others for her situation. Instead, she tearfully admits that she, quote, was wrong about Hans. It wasn't true love, end quote. Anna could have easily blamed her sister for not being there in her life or Hans for being selfish. Instead, she blames herself because she followed the idea of love at first sight and tried to make her sister see reason when she was right all along. Okay, so a nice description, nice explanation, nice integration of the quote. There's another example given her. She doesn't just rely on one example to show her point, and she gives another example also from that film. Then I'm going to skip down to her next paragraph. Again, topic sentence. Again, she could have made it a little better, a little stronger, but you will learn from her mistake and make yours better. Girls are shown to be strong by doing things for completely selfless reasons. So this is her next point. Specifically, if it is to protect their families and try and make a difference. So here's her next point, and she uses the film Mulan and that character and describes that, uses a quote from that, explains things. I'm not going to go into detail about her support here, but she uses specific things from that. She doesn't go through the whole plot of the film. She picks and chooses specific examples that will really show what she's talking about. And that's important too. Your support should be relevant always. Here's a nice transition into her final body paragraph. She happens to have three. Three is not a magic number. She happens to have three. You could have two. You could have four. You could have five. All right. While Princess Anna and Mulan all went out on great journeys for not only family but for the entire populations of their countries, those are extreme examples of being strong. So this is a nice transition into her point. There are girls who can be strong. Girls ones, I don't know what she's doing there, but that's all right. Just because they take the role of a parent for a younger family member. So here she brings in a more true to life example, something that more people might relate to. And she uses the example from Lilo and Stitch and the character of Nani. And she explains about that. And again, I'm not going to go through all of her support for that, but she explains just areas that will show her specific point. Now, I do want to talk about her conclusion. Her conclusion is very nice. She says Disney continuously makes more and more relatable and complex characters for young girls to have the option to look up to. It would be so easy for them to just spew out pretty pink princesses whose dreams are to marry a handsome prince and live in a palace, but instead they are creating characters that are dealing with situations like grief, being a social outcasting is not a word, and families being broken. Let's see. There are young girls out there that may turn to these animated women in hopes of learning about themselves. And then this is where her conclusion gets better. She says, instead of constantly pointing out the flaws, like the princess's body types, maybe we should look at the actual good characters in these films and encourage Disney to continue to make strong, independent women. And here she's got what we call a call to action in her conclusion, where she is urging us to do something about it and something reasonable. And so that's a very nice way to end that essay.